Are the Seattle Seahawks preparing to make a shocking move that signals the end for Kenneth Walker III in Seattle? Explosive trade rumors suggest the franchise could be targeting a dream running back to take over the backfield and reshape the offense heading into the new season. Some believe this would give the team a fresh dynamic and elite playmaking ability, while others question whether moving on from Walker would be too risky. If this blockbuster deal becomes reality, it could be one of the most surprising storylines in the National Football League. Solely replace Kenneth Walker III? And if this deal actually happens, it could change everything. Now, before we jump into the details, let's set the stage. Kenneth Walker III has been a key piece of the Seahawks offense ever since he arrived. Explosive, fast, and capable of breaking a big run at any moment, he quickly became a fan favorite and one of the most exciting young running backs in the league. But here's the thing, the NFL is a business, and sometimes even the most talented players can find themselves in uncertain situations, especially when injuries, consistency, and scheme fit start becoming part of the conversation. Over the past season, there have been moments where Walker showed flashes of brilliance, but also stretches where the offense struggled to find rhythm and balance. The offensive line had its issues, and the play calling sometimes failed to fully maximize his strengths. And when that happens, front offices start asking tough questions. Can we do better? Is there a player out there who fits our vision even more perfectly? And most importantly, is there an opportunity to make a move that elevates this team to the next level? That's where this trade rumor begins to gain serious traction. Because according to growing speculation around the league, the Seahawks are exploring the possibility of bringing in a star running back, someone who is not just good but truly elite, a player who can take over games, command defensive attention, and completely transform how opponents prepare for Seattle every single week. And when you start hearing names linked to this kind of move, it immediately raises eyebrows. Imagine a running back with a rare combination of power, vision, and breakaway speed. Someone who can run through defenders on one play and outrun an entire secondary on the next. Someone who can also contribute in the passing game, creating mismatches against linebackers and adding another dangerous layer to the offense. That's the kind of player the Seahawks are reportedly targeting, and if they pull it off, it could be one of the boldest moves we've seen in recent years. But let's talk about the big question. Why would the Seahawks even consider moving on from Kenneth Walker III or reducing his role? The answer isn't as simple as performance. It's about fit, durability, and long-term strategy. The NFL season is brutal, and running backs take a lot of punishment. Teams are constantly looking for players who can handle a heavy workload while staying effective deep into the season and into the playoffs. And if the Seahawks believe there's a better option available, someone who can provide more consistency or a different style that better suits their offensive scheme, then it makes sense that they would at least explore the possibility. There's also the financial side of things to consider. Contracts, cap space, and future planning all play a huge role in decisions like this. If Seattle sees an opportunity to acquire a top-tier running back while also managing their salary cap more effectively, it becomes an even more attractive option, especially if they believe this move could be the missing piece that pushes them into serious contention. Now, let's get into what this dream scenario could actually look like. The trade itself would likely involve multiple assets, possibly including draft picks, and maybe even a player going the other way. The Seahawks would need to make a compelling offer to land a running back of this caliber, and that's where things get really interesting, because it shows just how serious they are about upgrading their offense. This isn't a minor tweak, this would be a statement move. And think about the impact on the field. A true game-changing running back in this offense could open up everything. The play-action game becomes more dangerous, defenses have to commit extra resources to stopping the run, which creates opportunities for the passing attack. Receivers get more favorable matchups, and suddenly the entire unit becomes more explosive, more unpredictable, and much harder to defend. For the quarterback, this kind of addition can be a game changer. Having a reliable, dominant running back takes pressure off the passing game. It creates easier throws and allows the offense to stay balanced even in tough situations. It's the kind of move that doesn't just improve one position, it elevates the entire team. But of course, no move like this comes without risks. Giving up valuable assets for a running back is always a gamble, especially in today's NFL where the position is often seen as replaceable. Teams have to be absolutely sure that the player they're acquiring is worth the investment, that he can stay healthy, perform at a high level, and truly make a difference when it matters most.
And then there's the locker room dynamic. How would this affect Kenneth Walker III? Would he remain part of the rotation? Would he be included in the trade, or would he take on a different role within the team? These are questions that the Seahawks would have to carefully consider because chemistry and morale are just as important as talent when it comes to building a winning team.
Fans are already divided on the idea. Some are excited about the possibility of bringing in a superstar, someone who can electrify the offense and take the team to new heights. Others are more cautious, believing that Walker still has plenty of potential and that the team should focus on improving the offensive line and overall scheme, rather than making a drastic change at running back. And honestly, both perspectives have valid points.
What makes this situation so fascinating is the timing. The Seahawks are at a crossroads. They have a mix of young talent and experienced players, and they're trying to figure out the best path forward. Do they continue developing their current roster and hope it all comes together, or do they make a bold move to accelerate their progress and chase immediate success? This potential trade represents that exact dilemma.
League insiders are watching closely because if the Seahawks pull the trigger, it could set off a chain reaction. Other teams might respond with moves of their own. The market for running backs could shift, and suddenly what seemed like a quiet offseason turns into a frenzy of activity, all sparked by one major decision.
And let's not forget the excitement factor. This is the kind of move that energizes a fan base. It creates buzz, it gets people talking, and it builds anticipation for the upcoming season. Imagine the first game with this new star running back in a Seahawks uniform. The crowd would be electric, the expectations sky high, and all eyes on Seattle to see if the gamble pays off.
As of now, nothing is confirmed, but the rumors are growing stronger, and the possibility feels more real with each passing day. Front offices are making calls, discussions are happening behind the scenes, and the pieces could be falling into place for something big to happen.
So what should fans take away from all of this? The Seahawks are not standing still. They are actively looking for ways to improve, and they are not afraid to think big. Whether this specific trade happens or not, it's clear that the team is exploring every option to become more competitive and to build a roster capable of making a deep playoff run.
And that's ultimately what this is all about, winning, finding the right combination of talent, strategy, and execution to compete at the highest level. If the Seahawks believe that bringing in a dream running back is the move that gets them closer to that goal, then don't be surprised if they go all in.
For now, we wait and watch, because in the NFL, things can change quickly. A rumor today can become a headline tomorrow. And if this massive trade becomes reality, it will be one of the biggest stories of the year.
Make sure to stay tuned, because we will be following every update, every report, and every development as this situation unfolds. And if you're a Seahawks fan or just an NFL fan in general, you won't want to miss what could be a franchise-altering move right before our eyes.